A unique part of the Centre for Irish Music is its dedication to making the music as accessible as possible to anyone who's interested.
I really like the fact that it's such a vibrant community, and it's made up of people from all walks of life, all ages.
There aren't many traditional Irish music schools around the country, and so having the CIM here in St. Paul is invaluable, in my opinion.
Irish music is made for community. Like, it's intrinsically tied to culture and community in Ireland. And for us to be able to give back and to take our music out into our local community here, it enriches the students in their learning and development, and it enriches the community. What it does is that you have this art form that nourishes the community that it's in. And in turn, the community comes back and it nourishes the art form because it's a developing tradition and it's continually evolving and changing.
This place is so connected to the community with the Irish culture in the Twin Cities, as well as the different musical endeavors that are around town that CIM connects into. I think it's really important to kind of support what's going on here so that we can continue to operate such an amazing organization.
It's cost prohibitive for people to buy a lot of these instruments when they don't even know whether they want to play them or not. And so the instrument rental program has really just grown naturally, just kind of organically through the need of the students.
If you have a student or an adult come in who wants to play the harp, it's a lot of money up front. The average kind of entry-level harp is about $3,500.
If I wasn't able to rent an instrument, I don't think I would have been playing instruments. I can't just buy a harp because I don't even know if I like it. I don't know, like, who knows if I'd want to quit. So, like, renting them really helps you, like, just figure out, oh, is this something I want to play?
When I first started harp, I did rent one from the CIM, and it really helped me get harp started and just helped me learn.
A proper flute is not cheap. A proper harp is not cheap. A set of Irish pipes is definitely not cheap. There's no way around the proper instrument to get the right sound.
It's difficult to get your hands on a set of pipes, whether it's finding a maker, finding a set, or getting the money together to get one. So having the sets here for rent for a very, very modest cost is a great opportunity for anybody who might be interested in giving it a try.
Right now we have a really, really nice accordion rented. I've been renting it for a while and I really like it. And without it, I probably never would have started playing accordion at all.
The Minnesota Irish Music Weekend is an immersive, traditional Irish music festival where we bring specialists in from Ireland and from other parts of the country to teach and to perform for us. We bring individuals who have like a really deep knowledge of their particular area, and then they perform for us and they meet all of the students. They teach adults and teenagers.
In 2014, at the Minnesota Irish Music Weekend, they brought in a famous Irish flute player. His name's Eamon Cotter. He's a world-renowned musician and he makes flutes. And me and Adrian O'Shea had the opportunity to have a class with him. And when we were playing with him, he offered to make us both flutes. We had rental flutes from the CIM, which are amazing for people to learn on. But we both kind of wanted to step up. We both got Eamon Cotter flutes, and we were really excited because we now were considered more advanced players off of that.
It's been great to see the variety of musicians from all over different parts of Ireland, different traditions within Irish music, singing traditions and different instrumental traditions, and it's clear to see how that's benefited the students, particularly the younger students, the way that they learn tunes, the way that they think about the music, the way that they see themselves as a part of the music.
The CIM has developed a really positive reputation among the Irish American traditional music community as well as the music community in Ireland.
It's sort of a nexus for what the tradition is here. My fondest dream is to have one of our kids go play someplace and have players who know what they're talking about go, oh, that's a St. Paul kid. I've heard that sound before.
I'm both a donor and a volunteer at the school. It's such a unique place, and I really want it to be accessible to as many people as possible.
It's more than just teaching individuals Irish music. It's a broadening of awareness about Irish culture.
I think more people should know about the Center for Irish Music because they have an opportunity to learn really good music from really good teachers.
There's so many more people who are playing at a really high level of traditional music, and what's happening is that they're coming here, but then they're going out and they're going to do programs in the community through the ensemble programs in nursing homes and performances, and also it really reflects very well back on the school because we are teaching these kids to play music at a very high level.
It's not coming here and learning an instrument. It's like you make relationships with your teachers. Like the teachers I have, I feel like they're second parents to me. It's like a whole community because you make friends that play the same instruments or different instruments, and you learn how to play together. And like it's so much more than just learning an instrument.
Good evening, everyone. That was Bua, an amazing band based in the Midwest, and I hope you enjoyed that little interlude. So good evening. My name is Nora Rendell, and I'm the Executive Artistic Director of the Center for Irish Music, the Irish music school that's presenting this whole event, the Minnesota Irish Music Weekend at Home. And thank you for joining us tonight. This is our official opening reception. And here I am in my own house, speaking to you and welcoming you to the festival. From my home to yours, it's wonderful that you're here with us. So back in March, right after St. Patrick's Day was basically canceled, we had to make a quick decision and decide, should we have this festival or should we just cancel it? And after all sorts of back and forths with these wonderful artists that have lent their time and their talents to us this weekend, we decided, let's go for it and let's try this out. And here we are. And as Benny McCarthy said to me just the other night, he said, well, it is an event. It really feels like it so far. So there's all sorts of ways that you can be a part of the event. We have workshops for teens just started today. We're already halfway through that program and had a really wonderful day on Zoom with all of the artists and 30 teenagers from across the country and one of Conal O'Grada's students from Cork. So that was really wonderful. And we're continuing that all day tomorrow. And then adult workshops all weekend. So if you're interested in studying with any of our master artists, then you should definitely check out our website, which is right here on the screen, www.centerforirishmusic.org. So check that out. There's workshops, there are lectures, and one of the best parts of the Minnesota Irish Music Weekend, I always think, is the interviews. Our own Dahi Sproul, guitar teacher at the school and singer, and just an absolutely wonderful person and great conversationalist, will be interviewing 3 of our master artists this year. Matt Kranich will be on Sunday at 12:30, and then he's talking to Pauline Keneally, one of our featured artists, tonight on Sunday at 10:30. I'm going backwards with timing. And then on Saturday, he'll be interviewing Conal O'Grada at 12:30. So please do join us for those. If you want to sign up, you can sign up for 1-day pass or a 2-day pass, and you can see everything up on our website. We have a really active Facebook page, so please like the Center for Irish Music and follow along as the weekend goes. And if you're out there and you signed up, you're one of the teens or the Trad Immersion campers, we want to see pictures of you in your Minnesota Irish Music Weekend shirts, which I'm going to show you my shirt right now. These are the nice shirts for this year. So we sent them to people who purchased them ahead of time, and we want to see pictures of you in them because we miss you. So there you go. I think that's most of what I wanted to talk to you about. I have a couple other things, actually. So one, we're in Minnesota right now, and Minnesota has made the headlines. We've made the headlines in the last few weeks, and for reasons that maybe we wouldn't have wanted to be in the headlines. But I've had family members from Canada and people from Ireland and from all over the world writing me and saying, are you okay? And we are okay. We're lucky to be okay. And I just wanted to let you know that things at the Celtic Junction are fine, but that as a majority white organization, we've really been talking a lot about what does this mean to us? And we just want to make sure that you know, as an organization, we support the Black Lives Matter movement. And as a community-based organization, it just doesn't make sense for us not to care deeply about the lives and the bodies of our Black brothers and sisters. So I wanted to just, as our opening reception, make sure that you know where we stand and that we're really thinking about it a lot, trying to figure out what does it mean to us as an Irish organization. And lots of our individuals in our organization have taken a great stance, but it's different as an organization, how to figure out what does this mean for us. So we'd love to hear more from you about that. So on to back to the Irish Music Weekend and all the workshops. It's not too late to sign up for the adult workshops. If you want to sign up, you still can. So go to our website and you can go ahead and sign up. Tomorrow is Friday, and it's the Great Session Experience. We're having 3 sessions. Junior session at 6 p.m., song session led by Brian Miller at 7 p.m. And then at 7:30, we're going to have a great big session led by Mary Venorni, but with musicians from the school and our master artists leading sets. All of these are happening over Zoom, and we really want you to join us for them. So go to our website and on the Great Session Experience page by noon tomorrow, the links will be up there. So all you have to do to join in is download Zoom onto your computer, get your instrument all ready and tuned up, and you'll be led by some fantastic musicians tomorrow. So please join us for that. And then thanks to our sponsors. We have some really generous sponsors who are helping this weekend happen. Larkin Hoffman Attorneys, the Metro Regional Arts Council, and the Minnesota State Arts Board. And you, the taxpayers of Minnesota, who help fund those organizations, which in turn are funding us. Thank you so much for your support. And then also to our partners, our concert sponsors, the Celtic Junction Arts Center. It's just about half a mile away from where I am right now. And we really miss being at that beautiful building. And but on Saturday night at 7:30 p.m., we will be featuring 3 fantastic musicians, Brian Miller, Danny Diamond on fiddle, and Sean Gavin on the flute. And so that concert is actually going to be broadcast live from the Celtic Junction. So don't miss it. It'll be right here on the Center for Irish Music live stream page, on our Facebook page, and on YouTube. So that's 7:30 on Saturday night. And Conal O'Grada is going to be giving a concert, and so is Matt Kranich. Both 3 p.m. on Saturday is Matt, and 3 p.m. on Sunday is, or sorry, Saturday is Conal O'Grada, Sunday is Matt Kranich. So don't miss any of those. All of the concerts are free and accessible to absolutely anybody who wants to take them in. And we are accepting donations to support the artists and to support everything that it takes to run an event like this. And if you want to make a donation, it's completely voluntary. And you just go to our website and check that out. I think Michelle just put it up. Yes, so there's the link right there. You just go to our registration system. And if you're a student at the school, or if you're taking lessons already, you can just go in through your account and do it that way so that you don't create a new account for yourself. I think that is pretty much everything now. And last year around this time, we decided to expand the Minnesota Irish Music Weekend to have an opening reception. And we had that. It featured an interview of the Friel sisters last year. And it was a really special night. Mike Lynch and the Caseys organized that night. And he did an interview of the Friels, and it was just it was a really lovely night and nice way to gather and get the festival kicked off. So this is our virtual event. This is our virtual version of that. So we've got a great night of music for you ahead. It's going to start off with Pauline Keneally, a fantastic banjo player. She was one of our featured artists last year, and we fell in love with Pauline and just absolutely we loved her music. We loved her personality and her jokes and all sorts of everything about her. It was just wonderful. So we want to have her back. And so she's back with us in spirit, and she's going to perform a set here in just a few minutes with her brother, Mick Keneally. So we put those 2 videos together, and we're really excited to share that with you. And then we'll take just a quick break. You'll see me again. I'll have some scintillating conversation with you. And then we have a set by Benny McCarthy, who is based in Waterford. He is the accordion player with the band. Danu was recently supposed to be here in the Twin Cities, and the tour got canceled right in the midst of all of the COVID-19 crisis, and he had to head straight on home. So we're absolutely thrilled to be getting a set of music from Benny as well. So I'll tell you a little bit about Pauline, and then I'll hand it straight over to her. So Pauline was born in Bedford, England, the daughter of Irish parents from Connemara and Longford, raised in a family steeped in Irish music, dance, and culture. And Pauline has been to the Twin Cities. Probably the first time she ever performed here was with a Cultist tour, and she was the dancer on the tour. That was a long time ago, but she was a champion Irish step dancer before turning her focus to music. And under the tutelage of the legendary Brendan Mulcair, just an incredible musician that taught a lot of the best musicians out of England. She honed her love of the banjo and eventually earned her status as a legendary banjo player. She's just a beautiful, inspiring musician. She founded the band Chicago Reel, and they have played in festivals all over the States, and she frequently shares the stage with her good friend Liz Carroll. And I was just checking out a video of her on the Grand Ole Opry. She's a fantastic musician, and I know you will love her music. And you can get her music. She has a really wonderful CD. And if you want to support any of our artists for MIM at home, just go to centerforirishmusic.org and our MIM at home page, and there's an artist merch page. But you can get Pauline's album on iTunes, and it's just a really, really fantastic album. I highly, highly recommend it. All right, well, that is enough of me chatting away. Enjoy this set by Pauline Keneally.
Hello everybody, welcome to 2020 Minnesota Irish Music Weekend. I'm delighted to be playing here this weekend for you all. My name is Pauline Keneally. I live in Chicago via Bedford in England. I'm here 30 years odd. So I want to thank Brian Miller and Nora Endell for having me back this year. I loved last year, so this year is even more of a treat to perform via live Zoom teaching in the next couple of days. So I'm going to start off my concert with a couple of jigs, and I'm going to have my brother Michael from Ireland, Mick Keneally, back me on bouzouki, just to make it more fun for the concert as it's online and we're all by ourselves in the basement trying to talk to a pretend crowd. So here we go, a couple of jigs. The first tune is called The Horse's Leotard, and the second tune I learned from the playing of Tommy Fitzharris, a lovely flute player. So I'll give them a go. again. I'm going to play a couple of reels this time, and two of my favourite tunes for a while called Tommy Nodis, and wonderful Claire Kilmihalman, fiddler, and would you believe his great niece lives up the road from me here. Her name's Maggie Downs, which is Maggie Carey married, and her uncle is Tommy Downs, the famous Shanos dancer from Kilmihail. So two tunes I'm going to play, lovely banjo tunes. So here we go. going to continue with a couple of tunes. The first tune is a waltz that was composed by the wonderful flute playing of Marcus Hernan from County Galway, Conor Merriman, and he called it The Beautiful Goldfinch. And the second tune, I decided to play one of Ireland's most beautiful traditional set dance tunes, the St. Patrick's Day, because people don't play that tune anymore and it's really lovely. So a waltz followed by St. Patrick's Day, a set dance. And I want to say I'm so delighted to be playing this evening, and I can't wait to watch Benny McCarthy and Conor Lagrada and the rest of the boys, Matt. So let me get on with it and stop talking. Here we go, Beautiful Goldfinch and St. Patrick's Day. 1, 2, 3. This jolly Thursday evening, and I just wish I was able to sit in the company of Connell and Benny and Matt and Brian and Nora and Brian and Sean Gavin and Dahi Sprawl and so many other people that would be there this weekend that I would just love to have a few tunes, maybe a cold glass of water, let's make it kid friendly, and maybe a pint of Guinness with you, Connell. But We're lucky to be doing this weekend actually and have this music outlet for us after the last 10 weeks that have been in lockdown. So everybody, here's a couple of hornpipes. The first tune is called Napoleon Crossing the Rhine. There's another name for it too, like I think The First Light of Day, but I'm not sure which is the right name. And the second tune is a beautiful hornpipe I heard years ago from the playing of Brian Mooney and John Carty on an album they made years ago called At Complete Ease. And I do not know the name of it, I'm afraid, but it's one of my favourite hornpipes. So here we go. Thanks, guys. I'm going to continue with a couple of reels. The first tune is a tune composed by a wonderful friend of mine from County Clare, a great concertina player by the name of Adele Fox, and she composed this tune for her grandmother called Nana Joe's. And the second tune, I follow up with it called Huey Travers. And I haven't got a third tune right now. If I think of one in the next 5 minutes, I'll join it, okay? So here we go. thank you all very much for tuning in this evening. So please keep your seats and keep online, because the wonderful Benny McCarthy is going to join you in any moment now. And I look forward to seeing you online tomorrow for our classes and all weekend throughout. So hi guys, and bye guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much, Nora and Brian, for having me.
Woo-hoo! Pauline Keneally with her brother, Mick Keneally. Thank you so much, Mick, for playing along with your sis. That was fantastic, a wonderful concert, and amazing how that all comes together. It's so great to have you back, Pauline. So I don't want to talk too much at all, because I want to get on with the music. So Benny McCarthy, he's somebody who I've wanted to have here at MIM for a long time, and a good friend of mine from Newfoundland. We were hanging out here. He came through Graham Wells. He came through the Twin Cities recently, and he's good friends with Benny as well, and had said, listen, you got to have Benny. And so anyway, he just said he's a great, great teacher and great musician. And so I'll tell you a little more about him. He's from Waterford, began playing Irish music when he was just 13 years old, and mentored by the one and only Bobby Gardner, who has taken so many fantastic musicians under his wing. And he traveled all over Ireland to sessions and festivals, meeting and playing musicians from all regions and all styles. But his influences include Bobby Gardner, of course, Jackie Daly, Martin O'Connor, just to name a few. He was the Oireachtas champion on both button accordion and the 10-key melodeon in 1994. And at that time, or near that time, he teamed up with some of his really good friends and formed what is now Danu. And they became an award-winning group very quickly, and they toured all over North America, and they've toured all over the world at this stage, representing Ireland across the world. And I'm from Vancouver, British Columbia, and I remember Danu when I was just getting into Irish music, and it was a pretty long time ago, and Benny must have been like 2 years old or something, up there playing, because anyway, they got the crowds going. They were just so inspiring to a gang of us who were just learning how to play at the time. They came and played in Vancouver most years, for quite a few years. It was Danu and Lunasa and Dervish doing all the touring out on the West Coast. So it's just an absolute pleasure to have Benny here at the Minnesota Irish Music Weekend. So here you go. Here is a wonderful concert by the one and only Benny McCarthy.
Thanks, Nora. Hi everybody, I'm Benny McCarthy, and I'm coming to you from my home here in County Waterford in the beautiful sunny southeast of Ireland. And I hope you're all doing well through this very turbulent and a strange time that we're all living through at the moment. And I'm delighted to be part of the Minnesota Irish Music Weekend at home this year, even though it's a pity I can't be with you in person, as I was really looking forward to coming to Minnesota, to St. Paul, to the for the weekend. But anyway, we'll do the best we can through our screens here, and I'm going to play a few tunes. I suppose the bad news is I can't be there, but the good news is I can share with you some of the sounds of all these accordions, which I probably wouldn't have been able to bring with me. So I'm going to play a few tunes, tell a few stories just for the next little bit, and we hope you enjoy a few tunes. So I'll start my little concert there with a couple of reels, and I'm going to start with two reels. These two reels I got from a great old character, and he was a great friend of mine, Tomas Clancy, a great harmonica, Mount Organ player from lovely little part of Waterford, Stradbally down there on the coast in County Waterford. Tomas passed away there, I think, 7 years ago. But I grew up knowing Tomas, and I used to love meeting him at the sessions in all the little pubs around County Waterford. And he used to compose tunes. He'd never say he composed them. He used to always say he made them up, which is the same thing really. But I picked up these few tunes off him maybe about 30 years ago at a session one, and I asked him, what are those lovely reels? And he said, they're two of my own. He said, I made them up. And I asked him the names, and he said, Tomas Clancy's 1 and Tomas Clancy's 2. So 2 nice reels. So I'll try and film it. Hope you enjoy it. Tomas Clancy's 1 and 2. A great character and a great tunesmith. Right, I'm going to play. That was an old Horner C melodeon, the key of C, and that's one I've had for many years. And I love playing the key of C. It's a lovely key. I love that, especially with harmonicas. A lot of harmonica players here in County Waterford and County Wexford, and I suppose the southeast of Ireland. Was quite a strong tradition. And growing up in County Waterford, I knew quite a lot of mouth organ players, and they just always like to play in C, in the key of C. So I'm going to continue now with another accordion. This is an E flat, a D sharp, old Horner accordion that I have for many years. I bought this accordion from a great box player called Owen Sullivan from Mitchelstown in County Cork, a great musician. And I'm going to try a couple of jigs on this. And I was reminded of a great jig. It just came into my head. I don't know, I was playing there earlier, and this tune, a jig which I picked up years ago. I remember picking it up, and I think it was on an album by the great Abbey Field accordion player, Mick Mulcahy. the lovely Mick Mulcahy, really nice man, and a great box player. And this was a jig that was on his album, and I can't remember the name of it, so I must check out that album again just to get the name of it. But a nice sweet jig, and I'll play another one with it then, another one which I associate with the great Joe Cooley, the late great Joe Cooley, the box player, and it's a tune called the Carrow jig. So the first one then that I got from Mick Mulcahy and the Carrow jig. So let's see if I can remember it. Few jigs. The Carrow jig, lovely tune. Lovely tunes. I think Joe Cooley played that with the Queen of the Fair, and he went into the Carrow jig. And so I'm going to continue now with another. I'll slow down. I'll play a slow air for you now. I'm going to play it on this old accordion. This is my great grandfather's accordion. His name was Willie Fitzgerald, and he was gone before I was born, so I never got the pleasure of meeting the man. But I knew his wife, my great grandmother, very well, and she lived up to be the mighty age of 95. Yeah, she was born in 1900. So when I was young, I think I knew her all the way up to when I was a teenager, so she was a mighty woman. And she used to always love me playing a few tunes on her husband's accordion. So this is an old horn in the key of B and C. So I'm going to play a slow air for you now on this. I'm living here in West County Waterford, between the Cumra Mountains and I suppose the Knockmill Down Mountains. So I'm right on the border of South Tipperary here. And the region I'm living in here, in Ballinamult, is known as the Sliabh Gua region. Locally, I suppose, the Sliabh Gua region, because of the great song Sliabh Gal Gua na Féile. And the composer of the song was from Ballinamult, he was from here. His name was Padraig Malay. And he emigrated actually to Wales. And he worked for, I think, a mining company over there. But whilst he was over there, this is probably late 1800s, early 1900s. And while he was over there, he used to write songs. And he wrote this song pining about the beautiful mountains of Gua. So that's this whole area here. So it's a lovely air, very well known song, and a beautiful air. So I'll try the air of it for you. It's called Sliabh Gal Gua. So try this box, a different sound than this. So lovely air. Right, I'll continue now again. I'll play a couple of I'll play a couple of barn dances for you now. And I'm going to play this on another accordion. This is a melodeon, a lovely melodeon again. It's like the Horner one I played earlier. And this was built by a great maker in France. His name is Bertrand Galliard. And I got to meet Bertrand, I think in 1997. I was out there playing a festival with the band I play with Danu. And it was a lovely festival. It was a festival called Saint-Chartier. And well, it was called Saint-Chartier at the time. It might have changed its name since, but it was in the middle of France, there in the Saint-Massif area in the middle of France. A beautiful festival in the grounds of a big castle. And they had all the instrument builders of Europe. They do it every year, all the luthiers, all the wonderful instrument builders around. And they have little kind of stalls inside the woodlands. And during the daytime, I had great fun going around seeing all the different accordion builders and all the different instrument makers. So I met Bertrand there with his stall and his few accordions. So I've been a big fan and a great friend of him since. But he built this one for me in 2015. It's a lovely melodeon in the key of D. I love the sound, but I don't play it very much, but I love it. I love it when I do get the chance to. And so I'm going to try a couple of barn dances on this. And I'll try two barn dances. The very first one is a lovely tune, which I suppose is part of the kind of fox chase suite of music. You would have all heard maybe the fox hunter's reel and the fox hunter's jig and the big piping piece. And one of the tunes in that suite was a little tune called Modrine, I think Modrine Rua, and the little red fox, you know, the little fox. So this is a lovely barn. That's the first one. And the second one then is a tune called I think it's Bill Malley's Barn Dance. And it's a tune I think I heard Martin Hayes, the great fiddle player, playing it on one of his early first CDs or his first albums. So a lovely few barn dances, so I'll try that. barn dances there for you. So it's Mother in Rua and Bill Malley's barn dance. Right. Now, what will I play? Okay, I'm going to play the largest accordion that I have. The biggest one. This one here. And I found this accordion actually at that same festival in Saint-Chartier. Like I said, I was able to visit all the different makers, and I got to meet the company Saltarell. I was playing Saltarells at the time, and I got to meet the owner of that company, and I saw this on their stand. I was fascinated with it. The size of it, of course, but and I hadn't seen many of these around actually. I remember seeing I think a busker in Germany there in the early 90s with one of these. I remember thinking, God, that was an amazing sounding instrument for the size of it, you know. This is in the key of C. I don't know what they call these. It's a mini accordion. I call it a kind of a snack box. So, but it's made by Saltarell. It's only got 2 basses, a few keys, but 6 keys actually, and 2 little incidental keys on the inside. I'll try a little march for you on this, and this is a tune called Brian Boru's March. Brian Boru was I suppose, one of the High Kings of Ireland, and he was one of the big kings in Munster, and then he became one of the High Kings in Ireland, and he was died actually in the bloody Battle of Clontarf, and I know he was connected with the whole O'Brien name, the whole O'Brien Foundation. So this is Brian Boru's March, an old tune. I think I heard it. Yeah, it's played quite a bit, and I heard it. I think originally maybe it was Micheál O'Sullivan, the piano player. I think I heard playing this tune. So this is a version of it that I put together for this little box. to slow it down now. I'm going to play one of these Galliard accordions, and I'm going to play a waltz for you now. I love waltzes, and I'm not a great dancer, by the way, but I chance my hand now and again. If the right person has to be out to dance, I'd have a go at it. But I'm going to play a lovely waltz, and actually this waltz comes from Quebec in Canada there, and it's a tune that we call Clog Waltz, and I got it from the great Jackie Daly, the great box player Jackie Daly, many years ago. I believe 1991, maybe 1991 or so. I remember going to a workshop with Jackie Daly, and that's actually where I discovered the kind of the C# D press and draw system of boxes. I was playing in B and C before that, but it was my first time being in the same room with Jackie, and he was playing tunes for us and doing a kind of a masterclass, a workshop, and it was amazing. And I remember recording all the tunes, of course, and then going away, and I was giving the following years then trying to pick them up. But one tune that really stood out at the workshop was this tune, his version of this Quebec tune, the Clog Waltz, and it's a lovely tune. And every time I meet Jackie now, I always we try to squeeze it in and play it. That's the great thing about music and playing around. But when I meet Jackie now, I always remind him of this tune and try to play it together. It's called Clog Waltz. So. boys here. Right, I'm gonna try one of these maybe, and this one. That last accordion was in the key of D sharp for the box stars out there. And this is an old Hohner Erica, which I had for a lot of years. And this one is in the key of A and B flat. So it's a kind of a low key. So I'm trying this. Nice sweet key. I'll try a couple of polkas on this for the crack. And let's see, what did I play? Yeah, I might try the first polka I got from a great fiddle player and a lovely man by the name John Walsh. And he's from Newmarket there in County Cork. Great area there, part of Slieve Lucra. And John Walsh, Walsh's polkas, I'm sure you might have heard of Walsh's polkas. But this is the man, John Walsh, and I think he lives most of the time down near Cork City. But I met him in Newmarket a few times, John. He's a lovely man, lovely fiddle player. He composes beautiful tunes. And I remember hearing this tune up there in Newmarket. There's a great pub up there actually, Sully's Pub. If you're ever in County Cork, up around Newmarket area, every Monday night, you know, I suppose at the moment with all this stuff going on, but every Monday night they used to have a gathering there with the great Timmy Connors, great box player, and Raymond Sullivan and all the great musicians, locals there. They gather there in Sully's Pub in Scotty's Pub in Newmarket. Great spot. And John composed the first tune, and then I'm going to try after that. I might try a polka called, it's a polka I heard my uncle playing years ago when I was learning, and I think the name I got for it was The Banks of Inverness. I suppose this polka would have come from probably a kind of a Scottish march, and lots of tunes you know, moved about like that years ago as well. So you could, but going by the title of it anyway, it's like a two-part version. You'd hear other versions of the tune around with more parts, but this was the old version he used to play. And the last one then I'll finish up with a tune I got from the great Bobby Gardner. And Bobby used to teach me accordion when I was young. And a great character and great musician altogether. And Bobby made a record one time called Bobby at Home, a lovely old recording, one of my favourite records of Bobby's. And he played a set of polkas at the very start of it, I think. And this was kind of a version of Finnegan's Wake song, and it was like a polka version of it. So John Sullivan's, and the second one I think called Banks of Inverness, and then the last one then Finnegan's Wake. Finnegan's Wake. Right. Okay, I'm down to my last accordion, so I'll wrap up with this one. And I'll play a couple of reels for you on this. And before I finish up, I'd like to just say a big thank you there to Nora Rendell and all the people helping her out there at the Irish Music Centre in Minnesota there. Fantastic. You're very, very, very lucky to have somebody like Nora working with you and putting all this together. And you know, it takes great minds to kind of keep things going. I know this is I'd love to be out there playing and meeting you all in person, but it takes a great organisation to even keep things going. And sure, look, this is the way we do it, and we'll have great fun. And I'm looking forward to the next couple of days where we'll be teaching a few tunes and playing a few tunes and getting to meet people via all the various different platforms, Zoom and all these kind of things over the next few days. So it should be fun, and it feels like an event, even though I'm playing here to a camera, but like it is still an event, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I hope you enjoyed a few tunes on the accordions. And so I'm going to finish up this little concert here with a couple of reels, and I'm going to go back to a few tunes that I picked up again off of the great Bobby Gardner again, and actually that record that I was talking about, Bobby at Home. And these are two big reels. The first one is called Bonnie Kate, and then again the second one then is called Jenny's Chickens. So there were two reels that were always played together, and I suppose even back to the time of Michael Coleman and all that, they were paired. I think it was Michael Coleman would have paired the two of these together. So Bonnie Kate and Jenny's Chickens. So. Thank you very much.
Woohoo! Benny McCarthy. That was a fantastic concert. Thank you so much. That Jenny Chickens, that always makes me think of La Bottine Souriante. They did just like a bang up job of that with the horns and the piano and the whole backing. And Benny, you just brought it all back right there. That was amazing. What a great set, and perfect set for accordion lovers and melodeon lovers. And so make sure you mention this. You can watch this for the next few days. We'll leave this up. And so make sure you share it and let your accordion playing friends know not to miss that. And the same for Pauline and Pauline's concert. So thanks so much for joining us. This marks the end of our opening reception for the Minnesota Irish Music Weekend at Home. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to make a donation to the MIM at Home Concerts Fund. And that just really helps to keep this whole festival going. This is our 12th Minnesota Irish Music Weekend, and we've just had so many amazing musicians coming through for this festival, and we're sad not to see all these musicians in person, but it's just wonderful that they are able to join us anyway in this way. So thanks to the technology that's available. And just a quick shout out to Joanne Vano. Joanne Vano is our event chair, our volunteer event chair, and she has been helping me so much with this festival, and also to the staff members at the Center for Irish Music. We have Asia McCullough-Beers, who is a whiz. She's a whiz at all sorts of different things. She does all our graphics and all of our communications. And she's behind a lot of the Facebook comments and YouTube comments that you've been seeing the last few days. Thanks to Hannah Carr Murphy, who is doing a lot of the administration behind this, and also to Erica Nelson. She's our bookkeeper. And one of these days, I'll get these gals to sit up here with me and do a video. But for now, it's just me at my house on my own. So for me to you, have a wonderful evening. And don't forget to sign up for workshops, make a donation, and at the very least, just join our newsletter and stay connected to us at the Center for Irish Music. Have a great night, everybody. Good night.